Come to me, my children. Follow the sound of my voice to receive thy blessings. Unburden yourself.
Ow, 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 ow.
And welcome to the Church of Last Resort with the Dr. Reverend Jelly Roll. The Church of Last Resort, where your prayers are heard, your sins forgiven, and no matter what you believe, you won't believe this shit. And now, the Irreverent Reverend, the Dr. Reverend Jelly Roll.
Good morning, brothers and sisters. This includes our new members who may be enjoying us for the first time today. Wherever you may be, wherever you want to be, because you may not be where you want to be, yet there you are. Good morning. It is, I'm in my office. It is Sunday, January 18th. Now, for those of you who are like really into numerology, and I assume that's all of you, this is episode 118. Today's date is 118. So if you're playing your three-digit lottery numbers a day, play 118. Guarantee you it's a possibility that it could win. Okay, so as I was saying, it's Sunday, January 18th, and it's 70 degrees and no humidity, because I have that dehumidifier running like this. And so it's keeping things nice and unhumid. But on the other side of this wall, right now, it is 33 degrees. With 2% humidity, because it was supposed to be 24% humidity. I'm not going to lie to you. If you check the weather where I am, last night, it said it was going to be 24% humidity. But we had a dusting of snow last night. That was not scheduled. We had unscheduled white stuff in my yard just falling. Okay, unscheduled, unannounced, it's just there. Okay, now in my neighborhood, it's okay, I guess. But if it was like black stuff just showed up unannounced, all the neighbors have been out in the yards going, what the fuck? But because it was white snow and not black ice, they were all out there going, yay. So because of that, the humidity dropped by like 22%. Okay. Now, so it's 34 degrees with 2% humidity, and 95% of the Epstein files have yet to be released. That's right. Welcome to the Church of Last Resort. I am the Dr. Reverend Jelly Roll, PhD, DDS, ADHD, MCM, LIX. People have also called me the racy Reverend, the pervert pastor, the vile vulgar vicar of vice, the sexy shepherd, the missionary man, the minister of mischief, the wicked witness, the dirty deacon of doggy style, the frisky friar, the ass man abbot, the collared cleric, the booty-banging brother, the handsy high priest, the shameless shaman, Father Fistmas, the wicked I like to watch witness, the holy hoe, the divine dominating dominee, the depraved preacher, the tickle-me theologian, the minister of making love, the clergy of cunning conversation while eating pussy, and that nasty N-word. That's right. The point is that I come by many names and by many methods, but I do not come easy. No, I do not. Lord have mercy. So let us begin, children. As we always do, let us begin in the name of George Carlin, Robin Williams, and Richard Pryor. Can I get a fuck yeah? Fuck yeah! That's right. So, brothers and sisters, it is time for our opening prayers, sponsored by Tantally. Now, if you need an opening, Tantally has your opening needs. Now, if you or someone you know is in need of a prayer by the Dr. Reverend Jelly Roll, that's me, please send your request for a prayer or healing, forgiveness, or questions even, to me at drreverendjellyroll@gmail.com. That's DrReverendJellyRoll REVJELLYROLLE@gmail.com. Just like it's scrolling across the bottom. You see right there, it's scrolling across the bottom. Just like that, it's scrolling across the bottom. And please remember to spell roll with an E on the end. Otherwise, that other jelly roll, or one other jelly roll, any other jelly roll, may wind up with your request or your question, your prayer, whatever, and you do not want them doing that. Do not. No, indeed. No, indeed. And before I go into this disclaimer, I finally have a question that somebody emailed me. They asked to be anonymous, or their name is Anna Manus. Anna, we'll call you Anna because you don't want me using your name, and I'm going to respect that. But you were kind enough to ask the question. I'm going to read your question without your name, and I will give you my answer. And welcome, Kickbots. Welcome, Kickbots. I always love my Kickbots. When I was younger, I was a kickboxer. Yes, I was. Dear Reverend, I was raised, I had to print this out so I could, otherwise I'd be looking at it on my phone. Dear Reverend, I was raised to believe that I was raised to believe that God is a woman. And when I see all that is going on in the world, I no longer want to believe in God. Please tell me that God is not a woman. Well, Anna, let's put it this way. I'm going to be blunt with you. I went to school, and let me preface by telling you that I went to the school, I graduated from the School of Spiritual Science in Essex. I was, 4.5 year program. The half a year is actually the ordination process. We had to undergo actually psychological tests to make sure that we were stable and shit like that. So, and obviously I was able to fool the test. But the point is that at the School of Spiritual Science, we approached spirituality and the spiritual world with the scientific method. Because there's so much shit out there, we wanted to be able to come up with as close to a truth as we could represent. And so what we did was we looked at the evidence whenever we had spiritual questions like this one here. We looked at the evidence. So I'm just going to tell you that, this is what we've observed. First of all, if God were a woman, things would be different, really different. For one thing, the whole Mary thing would have turned out differently because no one has ever gotten pregnant from scissoring. So, no Jesus. If God were a woman, lying would be encouraged because God herself would be lying to us out of necessity. Of course you are my first creation. Why do all my creations ask me that? Does this glory make me look fat? Oh, this world is so big. It's the biggest world ever. There's no way I could hold this whole world in my hands. See, so God herself would lie to us out of necessity to protect our egos. If God were a woman, mansplaining would be a mortal sin. Okay? A mortal sin is from the Latin peccatum mortale. It's a grave act which can lead to damnation if a person does not repent the fact before death, like eating meat on Friday but not swallowing. Okay? And if God were a woman, menopause would be more pleasurable for women or more painful for men, which means it would be more pleasurable for women. So to answer your question, Anna, no way God's a woman. Now, please bow your head, unless you're driving your car or your significant other. And if that is the case, just close your eyes and let Jesus do the driving while we pray. But do not let go of the wheel until you know Jesus has control, but full control, not just the steering wheel, but the gas and the brake as well. And that's as well, not as well. As well is what happens when your butt cheeks clench real hard because you let go of the wheel too soon and you realize Jesus was not driving. So, dear Lord, one more thing. There were so many deaths this week. And so we literally deleted 9. I am like 9 deaths short of the full gambit that we had. There's no way we would have had all deaths for the show, and we would never have gotten to the segment of looking for God in all the wrong places. So we had to drop 9. And if there's like a death out there, a celebrity death out there that you are aware of, you say, well, Rev, you didn't talk about that. It's because no fucking way I had the time. And the way we picked them is because some of the deaths were not funny. Let's be honest. And some of the people weren't big enough celebrities. And in one case, the celebrity was not a celebrity. They were the child of a celebrity that died. Not the celebrity, the child had died. Okay, even though they were adult, they were still there. And I do not believe that any parent should have to bury their child. That's just an unbearable grief. And so I do not like making light of that. But if she were an actual celebrity, I would have. But see, the reason why her death was newsworthy was because her father was an actor. Okay, her father is a famous actor. And that's not something that she had anything to do with. She did not ask to be born the daughter of an actor. She did not ask to be born the daughter of someone famous. So I'm not going to treat her like a celebrity. I'm going to treat her like I would treat any other person who was the child, whose parent buried their child, okay? I'm not going to make fun of it. But if she were a celebrity, game on, all right? All bets are off. So now I've explained that, and let me go on to the dear Lord part. Dear Lord, please bless Brother T.K. Carter. That's right. T.K. Carter, a veteran actor who appeared in the horror film The Thing and Punky Brewster on television, has died. He was 69. His cause of death is undisclosed. The silent killer of 7 out of 10 celebrities and 5 out of the so many we had today that we're mentioning today. That's right. Carter was declared dead after deputies responded to a call regarding an unresponsive male in Duarte, California. No foul play is suspected, according to the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department. But they should suspect foul play because most unresponsive males are well over 50. You know, that's just the nature of erectile dysfunction. So if you're an unresponsive male and you're in your 50, that should be suspicious. Now, if people are like 70 and unresponsive, you know, I'd say, and the blue pill's not working or the yellow pill's not working, then, you know, well, that's the point. That's what I'm trying to say. They should be suspicious of a young, unresponsive male. He began his career in stand-up comedy and with acting roles. Carter had been acting for years before a breakthrough role as Knowles the Cook in John Carpenter's 1982 horror classic, The Thing. He also had a recurring role in the 1980s sitcom Punky Brewster, where he played Mike Fulton, Punky Brewster's Funky Broster. Other big screen roles include Runaway Train in 1985, Ski Patrol in 1990, and Space Jam in 1996. Okay, I can see why he'd be in the basketball movie. I don't know why he'd be in Ski Patrol. All right. T.K. Carter is most famous for his role in the horror movie The Thing, when he did not die first, despite being black. That's right. That's one of the few horror films that had a black actor, and they did not die first. That's right. John Carpenter was a visionary. Rest in peace, TK. Until you died, I was getting Punky Brewster and Blossom mixed up. I had to do a little research. Now I know. Can I get all those shows look alike? That's right. Can I get all those little white girl shows look alike? They all did to me anyway. Can't tell them apart. Dear Lord, please bless Brother Tom Sharones. Tom Sharones. Tom Sharones, Emmy-winning producer and director, best known for his work on Seinfeld, among many other credits, has died. He was 86. Sharones died at his home in Florence, Oregon, after a battle with Alzheimer's disease because he forgot to keep fighting. Sharones also directed episodes of News Radio, as well as episodes of Ellen, Sabrina the Teenage Witch, and Desperate Housewives. His last directing credit was an episode of the show Reaper in 2009. In 2012, he authored the Hardly Boys book, a parody of the Hardy Boys. Rest in peace, Tom. Hardly Boys sounds like a NAMBLA mantra. Can I get a, did he say that? Welcome, Brother Ian. Welcome to the chat room, Brother Ian. Yes, indeed. Lord have mercy. Dear Lord, please bless Brother John Cunningham. John Cunningham, the veteran Broadway actor who appeared in films like Dead Poets Society and Mystic Pizza, has died. He was 93. His cause of death was undisclosed. That's two who are keeping score at home. Cunningham was a prolific Broadway actor who appeared in such acclaimed productions as the original stagings of Cabaret, 1776, Company, The Sisters of Rosenwig, and 6 Degrees of Separation. And we are still waiting for the 6 degrees that separated John from his life force. Right now, it's just undisclosed. Cunningham provided 2 memorable voiceover roles in prominent 90s films. The Be a Man tape instructor in and Out, and the Fed Net announcer in Starship Troopers. His other screen credits included The Jackal, 2 Weeks Notice, and Shaft. Now, in Shaft, his role may be too weak to notice. That's right. He has, let's put it this way. Every obituary I read says he was in Shaft. Every time I look up the credits for the people in Shaft, he's not listed. And even AI says he was not. AI just comes out and says he wasn't in it. Not in the original one with Richard Roundtree, not in the reboot with Samuel L. Jackson. But that's the one he was in. He was in the reboot. He was in episodes of Law & Order, 30 Rock, One Life to Live, and The Good Wife. The actor's last performance on the New York stage came in an off-Broadway production of Painting Churches. That was in 2012. And his final screen appearance came in a 2013 episode of Blue Bloods. And Tom Selleck's mustache had a bigger role than Cunningham. Rest in peace, John. You didn't get any credit for being in Shaft. That's a mother. Shut your mouth. Shame. Can I get a residual? Not for Shaft. Dear Lord, Please bless brother Guy Moon. Guy Moon, Emmy-nominated Nickelodeon composer of The Fairly Odd Parents, has died. He was 63. His cause of death was sudden stop syndrome due to a car accident. A 4-time Emmy nominee, moonwalked. Damn, that's that. They call that the Michael Jackson gag reflex. You say moon, I say walked. Moonwalked. Sorry. 4-time Emmy nominee, Moon worked on The Fairly Odd Parents throughout its full 10-season run in the Nickelodeon on Nickelodeon from 2001 to 2017. He lent his musical talents to a number of animated TV series, including the network's Danny Phantom, TUFF Puppy, Bunsen is a Beast, The Adventures of Rocky and Bullwinkle, and 1992's The Addams Family. Kids might know these songs, but kids shouldn't be watching me right now. What the fuck you watching me for? Yeah, I have a restraining order. And if it happens again, it'll be a restraining order. Moon frequently worked with Nickelodeon throughout his career. He served as the composer on the 2004 TV movie, The Jimmy Timmy Power Hour, and its 2 follow-ups, When Nerds Collide and The Jerkinators. Okay, that sounds like pubescent boys, but still Nickelodeon age, I guess. Okay, Big Time Rush, that's 2010 to 2013, and 2012's Big Time Movie. Stop me if you know the songs to any of these shows, because you, too, need a restraining order. His additional composing credits include The Green Veil in 2024, Aaron Rappaport's The Crash, the 1995 original Brady Bunch movie, and the 1996's A Very Brady sequel. Now, to some adults, that the Brady Bunch were the Patriots, and the sequel would be the Buccaneers. Rest in peace, Guy. With all the shows you had a hand in, your music is more than a footnote. See, hand, foot, and note music. Goddamn. Who the? Can I get a bad pun? Lord have mercy. Dear Lord, please bless Brother Eric von Daniken. Eric von Daniken, the Swiss author whose best-selling books about the extraterrestrial origins of ancient civilizations brought him fame among paranormal enthusiasts and scorn from the scientific community. He has died. He was 90. Von Daniken's representatives announced on his website that he had died of old age. Really? Is that a thing? To me, that just sounds like a lazy coroner. A lazy-ass coroner. It's like, fuck it, he's old. We don't care. What about that bullet wound? He's old. He's old. Fuck it. That's just a lazy coroner. Von Daniken rose to prominence in 1968 with the publication of his first book, Chariots of the Gods, in which he claimed that the ancient Egyptians and Mayans were visited by alien astronauts and instructed in advanced technology that allowed them to build giant pyramids. If that were truly the case, when we found Mayan ruins, we would have found Area 2B. See, Mayans had a base 20 system, and 2B is how they'd say 51. See, fuck it. You know, that joke would have killed in the Mayan culture. I tell you, they'd be going like, ha ha, 2B, ha ha. Fuck it. Rip Eric. I'm sorry, Rip. Rest in peace, Eric. It says you died of old age, but we know that you were whisked away on a spaceship. Can I get an unfounded conspiracy? Dear Lord, please bless Brother Scott Adams. Scott Adams, the author and cartoonist whose Dilbert comic strip satirized corporate life to wide acclaim before controversial comments he made on race sidelined him. He has died. Cancer. which is what he became to the Dilbert community. Adams' ex-wife, Shelley Miles, confirmed Adams' death during a live stream on the Real Coffee with Scott Adams show. I doubt his real coffee was black. He probably just put I in it because he didn't want the MLK in his mouth. See, MLK, that's tomorrow. See, God damn it. I'm on a fucking roll. The bad jokes are just rolling off my tongue today. Good God Almighty. Rest in peace, Scott. Maybe Dilbert will be a better person without your bad influence. Can I get Dave liberated? That's right. See, now Dave was the first black character on Dilbert. And motherfucker, he was Uncle Tom. Never mind. Dear Lord, please bless Sister Claudette Colvin. Claudette Colvin, a U.S. civil rights pioneer, has died. She was 86. Colvin was arrested at age 15 for refusing to give up her bus seat to a white woman in Montgomery, Alabama, 9 months before Rosa Parks. Similar, but more famous act of defiance. That's right. And that's why you need a good agent. Because if Claudette had a good agent, people would be giving her this acclaim and not Rosa Parks. But it's easier to have a memorial if your last name is Parks. See, you can have a Rosa Parks and ride. You can't do that with Claudette Colvin. Although she remained a largely unsung figure in the civil rights movement for decades, Colvin's 1955 act of rebellion inspired Parks and others and helped form the basis for the federal lawsuit that outlawed racial segregation in the U.S. public transportation. And I think Trump signed an executive order repealing that. Now, be honest. You really do not know if Trump did that or not, do you? Because it sounds like something he'd do. You're just like, fuck it. He did. Yeah, it sounds like that, doesn't it? Sounds real. Rest in peace, Claudette. Now you qualify to be in the Black History edition of Trivial Pursuit. If Black History wasn't trivial, we wouldn't have February. Can I get another black factoid? Lord have mercy. Dear Lord, please bless Brother John Forte. John Forte, the Grammy-nominated musician known for his work with the Fugees, and the Refugee Camp All-Stars, among others, has died. He was 50. Police say that Forte was found unresponsive in his home in Chilmark, Massachusetts home. See, that's the second 50-year-old who was unresponsive in his home. There's almost like there's some kind of ED epidemic among 50-year-olds. It is uncommon for 250. It's just uncommon. You don't go unresponsive at 50. There's still like years of good. I'm just saying that's two unresponsive men at 50. Though the medical examiner has yet to release an autopsy report, authorities do not suspect foul play in his death. Really? See, there we go again. 2 50-year-olds, unresponsive, no foul play suspected. I'm telling you, there's some kind of penis disease going on around there. Black men, and they're both black men, right? Yes, both black men, both 50, both unresponsive. Come on. We know a black dick gonna go unresponsive till they're 70. Lord have mercy. Friends of the family of John Forte confirmed that he was suffering from a seizure condition. He was taking medication to manage the condition. We do not know if the medication is working, but he hasn't had a seizure since he died. Rest in peace, John. The music was your forte. You got an extra 10 years added in for good measure. See, Forte, Forte, he died at 50, 10 extra years, good measure. Come on. They just are rolling. I'm burning up today. I got a fever. Can I get 10 seconds to let people think about that one. I got the fever. Lord have mercy. Dear Lord, please bless brother Kenny Morris. Kenny Morris, British music legend and drummer, has died. He was 68. His cause of death is undisclosed. That's 3 undisclosed and 2 unresponsives. Morris was the drummer of Susie and the Banshees, a band known for their gothic post-punk music during the 1970s. Morris was featured on the band's first 2 albums, 1978's The Scream, 1979's Join Hands. Before leaving the group, he went out for a pack of cigarettes and never came back. Morris replaced Sid Vicious, who only played 1 show for Susie and the Banshees, before he joined the Sex Pistols. He also went out to get cigarettes and never came back. Solidifying their place on the London underground scene, Morris performed the drums for their debut album or debut single, Hong Kong Garden. Okay, now Morris is known for the way he records his drums. He records the cymbal track first before doing the tom-toms, okay, which apparently came to influence post-punk groups. I don't know how the fuck that happened, but it's there, so I read it. The band transitioned into the new wave genre with a drummer that didn't smoke. Morris headed to film school and pursued live drumming projects before moving back to Cork and then finally Dublin. Rest in peace, Kenny. You will not be pursuing any more live drumming projects. Can I get a vape thingy? And finally, Lord, please bless the entire behind-the-scenes staff at Mind Dog TV. They are truly doing your work, helping to spread your word throughout the world. They could be anywhere today, but they are here wishing they were anywhere today, and that ought to count for something.
Amen!
MindDogTV.com, the place to go to get all your Church of Last Resort gear. And also, one shopping day until Martin Luther King's birthday. Get something special for that Negro in your life. Now, brothers and sisters, it is time. It is time. I know, yeah, too many people died this week. I said I dropped off 9 of them. I deleted 9. We wrote the obituaries and said, fucking too many. Now, let's have a little bump for the Lord. That's right. Brought to you by Bump in a Bottle. Straight from our vineyards to your innards. Wine, just like Jesus used to make. Lord have mercy. Whoa. Almost empty. Gonna need a refill on the bump. Yes, indeed. Lord have mercy. Oh. In the name, good Lord have mercy. Good Lord have mercy. So in the name of George Carlin, Robin Williams, and Richard Pryor, can I get a fuck? Yeah. Fuck yeah! That's right. Now, brothers and sisters, before we continue with spirits, before looking for God in all the wrong places, I want to let those of you out there know, who's watching now or later, if you're seeing this, it's your now. If you or someone you know and love have a talent to exploit, a book that they've written, a movie they were in, a TV show they were in, anything out there noteworthy, and you want to be on Coffee with the Dog, our flagship program, to talk about it, please, sister, listen to the words of Sister Golden Hair So Bright. She's going to tell you how to do it.
Comedians, musicians, authors, and podcasters. Coffee with the Dog is booking for the
Winter and spring.
now. Get free publicity and hone your interview skill in a fun and safe setting. Coffee with the Dog is a live radio, live stream podcast based in New York that airs daily Monday to Friday 9 a.m. to 11 o'clock in syndication on iHeartRadio, as well as video streaming platforms like YouTube, Twitch, Rumble, and many other platforms. Guests usually come on remotely via StreamYard, like Zoom but easier, although occasionally we do in-studio interviews. The morning show focuses mainly on comedians and musicians, and they have interviewed many top names and classic celebrities such as Robert Klein, Mike Binder, Eddie Brill, Doug Stanhope, Steve Byrne, Paul Provenza, Jeff Altman, and many, many others. For booking, go to minddogtv.com/booking.
Thank you, Sister Golden Hair So Bright. Curly Hair. Sorry, Sister Curly Hair So Bright. She's a loyal participant. And good morning, Ann. I did not see you there. Good morning, Sister Ann. Welcome to the chat room. The Sister Curly Hair So Bright has been a fixture and a staple for our program for many episodes, and we couldn't do this without her. And men, she's single. Okay, now for this week's episode, in Looking for God in All the Wrong Places, we're going to take a look at Spirits in the Material World by The Police from their 1981 Ghost in the Machine album. This song is based on the writings of Hungarian author and philosopher Arthur Koestler. Sting enjoyed Kessler's work, and the album Ghost in the Machine is named after one of his books, probably Ghost in the Machine. Koestler believed that outside influences could destroy our spirit and restrict our thinking. The spirits and ghosts Koestler wrote about were the innate higher functions that often get lost in the machine created by governments and corporations. So let's begin the Ghost in the Machine. Let's begin Spirits in the Material World. It opens up, there is no political solution to our troubled evolution. Have no faith in Constitution. There is no bloody revolution. Now, I'm going to take these 4 lines together because they're kind of interdependent. They don't really stand alone. Okay? It says there is no political solution to our troubled evolution. Okay? Now, our evolution as a nation, as a country, because our country started off one way with one document, the Constitution, and even then, the Constitution, when it was written to protect rich people. Okay, so let me. Okay, although this song was released in 1981, it could just as well pertain to what we are experiencing right now. Sting is implying that politics alone cannot solve the problems that come with the development of humanity. Okay, he also could be suggesting that putting one's trust in the Constitution is deadly. And why? Because it usually favors or disfavors a majority of the people it is supposed to protect. And that is the case at our Constitution. Our Constitution was not written to protect all people, even though they said all men are created equal and we the people they're talking about and we're trying to protect were rich white landowners. Okay, that's it. That was not the majority of the country. Okay, that's why the police were formed. Police were formed to protect the property of rich white people. In case the poor should ever decide, I'm hungry, I'm going to steal a chicken from that farm over there. They said, well, we're going to need police to handle that stuff. They didn't get the police to protect poor people from being trampled on by rich people. You know, get out of my way, poor person, kick, kick. And then the poor person would call the police and say, arrest that rich man. Now, that's not how it worked. It didn't work like that then. It does not work like that now. So have no faith in Constitution. It also sounds like a command with the absence of a pronoun being deliberately left out. Okay. Depending on what pronoun you plug in, it takes on a different meaning. Okay. If you say, I have no faith in Constitution, that's different. That means you may have it. It may work for you, but not for me. If you substitute you have no faith in Constitution. That could actually be a command. You have no faith in Constitution. Okay, it's not going to protect you. Okay, it could be they have no faith in Constitution when they have removed themselves from the situation and they're just looking out at the people. So depending on what pronoun you plug in there, it's going to give you a totally different definition. Now, I want you to understand when he says there is no bloody revolution, he is not calling for a bloody revolution. Okay, he's not saying there should be one. There is no bloody revolution, but there should be one. What he's saying is you can take out the word bloody. There is no revolution. Okay, now, why does he say bloody? Bloody, remember, he's a Brit. Bloody in Brit is like saying fucking. Okay, it's a cuss word. It's short for God blind me, I believe. So no bloody revolution, or it's like saying no fucking revolution. There is no fucking revolution. Okay. So he's saying that he's basically saying we're not fighting back. Now, for the first time, the refrain is used. We are spirits in the material world. That's it. But it's such a potent statement that he repeats it 4 times for this refrain. We are spirits in the material world. Okay, now, the word material has a double meaning here. In one sense, it indicates the physical world as opposed to the spiritual realm. Okay, material, skin. Okay, it could also mean materialism, where a high value is placed on money and things at the expense of enlightenment. It said, yes, I could be spending my time becoming a better person, but instead, I'm going to spend my time being a richer person. Okay, more possessions, more shit, because whoever has the most shit when they die wins, even though they can't take it with them. Second verse, not same as the first. Our so-called leaders speak. With words, they try to jail you. They subjugate the meek, but it's the rhetoric of failure. Okay. Our so-called leaders speak. You can take that in several ways. So-called leaders. First, interpretation, or one interpretation, lacking true leadership. Okay. These so-called leaders, but they're not leaders. They do not have leadership. Okay. They just ride the wave. They just collect paychecks, but they're not truly leading. Okay. The second interpretation is they are public servants and are supposed to follow our wishes. Okay. So they're just so-called leaders, but they're not really leaders. We're looking at them as leaders, but they're not. They're supposed to be followers, and they're supposed to follow their constituents' demands and wishes and needs. A third interpretation is they're not leaders, they're puppets. Okay. They're puppets controlled by other rich people. Okay. So these so-called leaders, and actually all 3 of these apply to, in some cases, to the same leaders. In other cases, there's 1 or 2 or 3 that apply. But it says they subjugate the meek, but it's the rhetoric of failure. Okay. Before I get to that, it says, With words, they try to jail you. Okay. In some cases, it's literal, but the word jail is more symbolic of control. Okay. They try to subdue us because when you're in jail, your freedoms are gone. Okay. So with words, they try to jail you. Now, here's the problem with that control and being subdued and diluted. Sometimes words are enough. Just the words are enough to scare people into inaction. Okay. It's not kind of like when you're a child and you want to go open the closet door and someone says, you know, a boogeyman lives in that closet. If you open that door, they're going to eat you. And you just believe them. You don't try to figure out why is there a boogeyman in there at night, but not the daytime? Or why can they open the closet door, but I can't? You don't think about it. You just hear the words and you get scared and you put yourself in the prison. You jail yourself. And sometimes it says with words they try to jail you. Well, today, I think that word is ice. You could just need to say with ice, they try to jail you. Now, it says subjugate the meek. Now, if the meek does not fight back, see, and that's the problem. Most of us do not realize, okay, that we actually outnumber them. That's why they use the rhetoric of failure. That's why they use the rhetoric to keep us separated. Okay, because if we join together and realize that we're all being fucked, most of us, we might act back. We might respond. Then we might have a revolution. But right now, we do not have that revolution. Where it's forming. In my mind, the revolution is forming. It's forming. It's forming. Hopefully not too late. So we're going to go the rhetoric of failure, okay? Because, now I'm going to make this very specific. Because Trump has not successfully moved the country forward in the direction that a lot of people, the ones that voted for him to do. A lot of people voted him, okay, forget the immigration stuff for right now. He says on day one, I'm going to lower prices. Day one, we're going to make things cheaper. We're going to lower the price of drugs. And we're going to keep us from nation building, okay? And these people that voted were going, yay, no more nation building. Yay, prices are going down. Yay. All these other things that most people could benefit from. Instead, he just is bombing boats in the Caribbean, threatening allies like Greenland and Canada and Mexico and Denmark, okay? Threatening to do things that people say, wait a second, whoa, we didn't act, that's nation building, isn't it? Now, Trump said, I'm not going to put soldiers on the ground, and he may not, may use contractors, which wouldn't be soldiers. And whenever he realizes that he's failing at these things, at failing the country, he throws out more bullshit. I've stopped 8 wars. I've saved 225 million lives by blowing up these boats. I've stopped enough drugs. I've saved 225 million people. Okay, all rhetoric, all lies to cover up his failures. Okay, not ours. Our failure was letting him get in office. His failure is that he is not doing some of the things that he was asked to do when he got there. I'm going to release the Epstein files. What was that? I'm going to release the Epstein files. I'm in them. I'm going to say I want to release the Epstein files. So to distract us, all this other rhetoric. So it's the rhetoric of failure because he's failing, but it's also the rhetoric of failure because they're just outright lies. Okay, he's denigrating and blaming others for shit that he's doing wrong. And it goes right back to the refrain, we are spirits in the material world. Now it says the material world, not a material world. Okay, big difference between the material world and a material world. A material world is very ambiguous, okay? But the material world specific, it's like this world here. We are spirits in this world, okay? Very, very specific language he's using there. Not like Madonna says, I'm a material girl in a material world. A material girl in a material, very ambiguous. But here Sting is saying, no, the material world. The third and final verse in this song, where does the answer lie? Living from day to day. If it's something we can't buy, there must be another way. Okay. I'm going to try to take these one at a time without getting too far ahead of myself. Where does the answer lie? As if there is one answer. Okay. Where does the answer lie? Like the one thing that we can do to stop all this shit. Well, why not? Why didn't he say, where do the answers lie? Because there's so much shit going on. One thing is not going to solve everything, at least materially. As material people, one answer, there's not one answer. Okay. Even if you decided to, let's say, get rid of, with a genie, get rid of all of the people that is causing the grief, we still have to fix the things they damage. So it's not just one answer. It's going to be lots of answers. So why is he saying, where does the answer lie? I'll get to that toward the end. I'll bring it right back to that. So struggling, okay, live from day to day, struggling to survive. That's it. We're struggling to survive and struggling to adapt to the various ways that we're being attacked. We're not just being attacked financially and economically. Our very freedoms are being attacked. And each one of these things that attacks us, we have to develop a new way to fight it. Okay. The way you fight economic woes is not the same way as you fight the oppression. And that's not the same way that you fight the bombardment of lies and propaganda. None of those are the same solution. So why is he saying, where does the answer lie? I'm going to liken this to our situation, because we're being attacked by so many ways and all at once. It's like trapping a small animal in a corner, and we're the small animal, okay? And they are the people trapping it. When that small animal is first trapped, it gives so many warnings before it fights back. The first sign is the loud noises. It may squeak, it may squawk, it may shake and rattle like a hog, like a gopher snake. It may rattle, it may do something, just rattle but it makes loud noises first. It's a warning. It's like, get back, stop trying to trap me, let me go. And if that doesn't work, then maybe they puff up to make themselves look a bigger threat, even though they're not ready to fight back, but they puff up and they get bigger in mass, okay, like crowds of people. Instead of one or two people yelling, get back, now it's a bunch of people yelling, get back, and they say get bigger and they puff up. The next step is they feint an attack. They pretend they jump towards you like, get back, I don't want to hurt you, okay? It's like throwing water balloons or Subway sandwiches or just standing in front of their faces going, "Go home, ICE, go home, ICE, go home." Okay, so we got the loud noises and we're puffing up and we're just yelling back and forth and we're faking attacks. If the people or persons, people or peoples that are trying to hold that animal back and trap it do not stop, eventually the animal has no choice but to scratch and bite to get out of there. That's the revolution. And that's the bloody revolution that we could have if things do not change. Now, the next line is, if it's something we can't buy, why wouldn't we be able to buy it? There's two things. Okay, first of all, he's saying it's something for sale. The solution is for the possible. He wants to know if there's a solution that we can buy. Can we? Now it says if it's something we can't buy, what are we going to do? If this okay, so to buy the solution, we could bribe officials, because that's what's happening with Trump. Trump is being bribed. He's made billions of dollars, doing what he's doing and helping out the friends of people like Stephen Miller, who are basically calling the shots. So, but we don't have that kind of money. So we can't buy them. We can't bribe them. We don't have that kind of money. So fuck that. Now, can we not buy it because we can't afford it? Well, we just said we can't afford it. Maybe we can't, or maybe it's just unattainable. We can't buy it because it's not there to buy. So if we cannot buy it, but we need a solution, there must be another way. Okay? The last line, there must be another way. And he's saying if we can't buy a solution, what is the way? If we cannot change things, and things do have to change, then what is going to bring that change? We're going to go right back to the very beginning. The very beginning, the first line of the song. There is no political solution. Okay? Sting believes there is no political solution, but he says, so what is it? Is there something we can't buy? Remember, the song, the whole premise, we are spirits in the material world. So why are we to look for a spiritual solution, okay? A higher solution. Because he said there's no political solution. That will be something down here. But he keeps reminding us time and time again with the refrain. He must say it like over 20 times. We are spirits in a material world. We are spirits in a material world. He wants to draw him. He could spend more time on lyrics. He only did 3 verses. He says we are spirits in a material world more times than he has lines in the song, than verses. Because that's the important thing. That's what he wants us to pay attention to. It's like there is no political solution. So we have to look for a higher solution. And even if we find it, a higher solution, can we apply it to make the change? Do we have the wherewithal to use it properly? Does finding a spiritual solution mean abandoning practical solutions? When I was a student at the Theosophical Society, one of the things they used to remind us was, do not be so spiritual that you are of no earthly good. Again, do not be so spiritual that you are of no earthly good. It is good to have the spiritual aspirations. That will keep us in check. One of my personal mottos is my behavior should be such that if my behavior were universal law, the world operated according to my behavior. So I should have been doing that last thing. Do not be so spiritual that you're of no earthly good. That's it for finding God, looking for God in all the wrong places, and for our analysis of spirits in the material world. I hope that you to go to throw back to our producer. I hope you come back next week for whatever we talk about next. I'm running a little bit short on time. Actually, I'm over time, but I just want to. I would be totally remiss. I'm going to go a little over because I'm going to play this. Well, no, I'm not going to play it. I'm just going to say, check out G.D. Fenderson's show that he's headlining in. It's called Funny Old Farts Part 2. It's the same crew, David Yakeley, Walter Gottlieb, and Sandy Bernstein as the Beaver. They're doing another show, this time in Westminster, Maryland. The last one was in Pennsylvania. This is in Maryland. We don't expect everybody everywhere to come to Maryland to see the show. It's not possible. But what is possible is you can stream it on Plausible. Okay, $5 per device. So you see the banner wherever it is. Go to G.D. Fenderson's. Go to my page. Go to Dr. Reverend Jelly Roll's page or So GD Funny. There's a link there. You can click on it to get access, so you can order it, live stream it. So, in closing, I want to thank those of you who have subscribed to my fledgling YouTube channel. It's growing. It's possible that we can hit 1 million subscribers by the end of the month, which is what we would like to do. We only need 999,999 more. And same with our Facebook page, Dr. Reverend Jelly Roll with an E. Bless you. I also invite you to check out gigsalad.com/GD Fenderson if you wish to hire him for your private party or private events. He can be rented. You can't purchase him. That's illegal. Okay. So check that out. Check him out. On behalf of the Church of Last Resort and the entire Roll family, my wife Amona Roll, my kids, Cinnamon and Jelly Jr., our cat Tootsie, and our dog Stop Dropping, I wish you safe travels, and I hope you'll join us next week at 9 a.m. Eastern Time on Mind Dog TV and everywhere that our word is heard. Yes, indeed. And if you have Monday off, thank a Negro. In the name of George Carlin, Robin Williams, and Richard Pryor, can I get a fuck? Yeah. Fuck yeah! Good day, sunshine.